Hi, my name is David Beats with Plan Grocery, and I'd like to thank NAI Global for having us on this webinar today. It's great to see. Looks like everybody's logged in and ready to go. So, as you know, grocery retail real estate is changing faster today than ever. Technology, delivery, meal kits, and in-store special amenities are just some of the things that are changing consumer behaviors that traditional real estate companies have depended on for years. This evolution will impact store sizes, store formats, store branding, and most importantly, store locations. Now, we have been working with some of the best real estate, data, and technology companies in the country over the past 6 years, companies like CRE Tech and the News Funnel in New York, Esri in Redlands, California, Whole Foods, and some really great, very successful real estate developers. Over this time, we've recognized the need for real estate companies to keep track of where new grocery retailers are going. We come across this data all the time, working with various clients across the US. So we combine our location data expertise with our web mapping expertise to create this platform called Plan Grocery. So the big idea here is that we are tracking over 2,500 locations across the United States that have some type of grocery anchored development going on. This includes locations that are planned, proposed, under construction, or recently built within the last 6 months. And this data is updated almost daily. As you know, real estate companies do this research all the time, but it is time consuming, slows projects down, and new location mapping will not be automated anytime soon. And we know this because we tried with a client out of New York working with hundreds of thousands of real estate news articles using advanced programming with natural language parsing. You can barely get a 50% accuracy rate on geocoding a news article. And even, with those hits, you're not even guaranteed that it's going to be rooftop accurate. And that's why we read each article and do additional research if necessary to accurately hand place every grocery event on the map. So here's what the platform looks like. You can see locations that are proposed, planned, under construction, or built within the last 6 months. And the idea here is that you can zoom in on any location in the United States, and we'll just zoom in on Raleigh, for example. And you can also change that base map if you want to see an aerial or just a regular light base map here in the background. So let's start with one location here. You see that we've got the square footage, we've got the location, and we've got the source as well. So that every location of the platform has some type of public news source that we link to. And then we also, when we can find an estimated opening date, we'll put that information in there. And when we can find the developer and a link to that project, we will include that as well. So you can get an idea of sometimes what that looks like. Some other tools that we have in the platform are that you can look at various demographics, such as average household income. The darker the area, the higher the income. Population density, the darker the area, the higher the density. 5-year population growth. Basically, the darker areas here have the higher growth, as well as Esri's tapestry segmentation. Where you can see affluent estates are generally married, older, wealthier type folks, and you can kind of see that they're living somewhat outside the city, around lakes, that kind of thing. And then you also have senior styles, folks, a little bit older. Sometimes they're on kind of a set income. And so you can quickly kind of see how the neighborhoods are divided that way. One really neat thing that we've added within the last year is the ability to see parcel data on top of an aerial. So we can zoom into these locations here, and we'll let the platform catch up a little bit. And we can see the parcel data there. And then when you click on that, you get like who owns that particular location, and you also get some information about the size of the site, so forth, which we think is pretty neat. So, so we have that information in there. And then you can also, we're going to turn off parcels right now. And then you can also look at what we call dead deals. And so dead deal basically shows a location where something was planned, and now it's not, the project is not moving forward. So you can see, how that Lidl location was canceled. And let's see, let's zoom on. Sometimes if you turn on the parcels, sometimes you'll find that Lidl has purchased the site, and sometimes they're just working with the developer. In this case, it looks like they did not purchase the site. We'll check there, and we'll check there. Okay. So, so we think the dead deals layer is pretty interesting, because it shows you kind of some past activity that might not be really obvious, when you're first checking out, a new market. We also have traffic counts in the platform if you want to be able to see the annual traffic at different locations. This information comes from Calibrate, which is in combination with ESRI. So we've got the traffic counts there. A couple other things that I'll show you here in the platform. Let's turn those things off and turn that off. You can also see just a real high view of kind of the activity out there on a nationwide basis, as far as who has what locations kind of in the works. And then you can also see recent activity that we've added or changed in the database. So these are new locations that we've added in the database, and this is a dead deal, something that was planned and now is not moving forward. So you kind of have a history there of different activity, and then you can zoom into those locations and see what's going on at each individual location. And then next, we also have a pretty cool daily email that shows you the recent activity of new locations or dead deals that we've added to the database, and you can opt into that email in the platform. And then you can also filter the database. Let's say that you're not interested in locations that are built or under construction. We can turn that off, and then we can zoom way out. And then all of these locations in Florida, for example, are locations that are either proposed or planned that have not started construction. And then you can also look at that on a nationwide basis as well. And then we also have the existing store locations in the platform. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this back on. Built. And then let's zoom into Jacksonville, for example. And then if we want to see the existing store locations, we can go right here. We can say all on, and then we can zoom in and we can see the existing locations as well. Sometimes that's a little bit easier to see with the light map. And we actually pull all those locations ourselves from various websites. And then you can also, something that we're really excited about are new demographic reports. So let's say that I wanted to get some information about this planned Publix here by Regency. I can click there. I can download the demographic report, bring that up, and I've got a great executive summary, 2-page demographic report on that location for a 1, 3, and 5 radius. We've got population, income, race, households, percentage breakdown between owner-occupied and renter-occupied. So really, really a great, just very basic demographic report there. And then if we also wanted to get that information for a ring, a drive time, or a custom trade area, we can also get demographics for that as well. Let's say that I was just looking at a site here, thinking about building maybe a Publix anchored center or something like that. I can get those numbers there, get some basic demographics, education percentage, daytime population, population average household income, and then I can also get a demographics report for that particular location as well. And so this is something that some of our clients have asked for, and we just put this in the platform about 2 weeks ago. So let's see, and then I'll show you just a couple more things here. Let's say that we want to do like a 12-minute drive time from a certain location. I can put that into the platform, and we can see what that looks like as well. We've got the drive time there. And then if I want to draw a custom trade area, let's say that I wanted to look at the demographics for this kind of part of town right here. We can run that as well, get those numbers, and I can also get a demographic report for that as well. So let's get out of that. Let's turn off these existing locations and then zoom back out. And I'll show you what this looks like here. Are there any, let's see, say all off, and let's just refresh that map. I think I've confused it. And are there any questions? Basically, getting towards the end of our time, I think, let's see. Yeah, the cost is $3,500 a year for each office login, and then additional logins are $750 per person per year. So we have about 50 companies using the platform right now, and they're kind of three groups of people that are really using the platform. We have the grocery retailers themselves. We have shopping center owners and developers, and then we have investment banks and hedge funds that have subscribed to the platform. And we basically started this database back in 2014 and launched the project in 2016. And since then, we've added about 50 companies and about 200 monthly users of the data. And we're really working hard all the time to keep the data up to date. There's really nobody out there as focused on grocery as we are. We used to work for the founders of the company, used to work for a grocery anchor developer called Edens. They were known as Edens and Avant a while back. And we spent a lot of time marketing sites to retailers and doing research, and just always thought that there had to be a better way to kind of track this information. So, so that's one reason we started building this database. So I think that's about it for me. If you would like to contact us for a demo or whatever reason, if you'd like to sample the platform, contact Niles Henbolt at 803-807-1029, and that's also nhenbolt@plangrocery.com. And look forward to hearing from you, and appreciate again the opportunity to be on here today. Thank you.